In its latest report on the economic well-being of the United States households from 2018 to 2019, the Federal Reserve said 54% of young adults who went to college took on some kind of debt, including student loans, for their education. So many of you are crippled by student loan debt and don't know how to get out of it. I myself only attended school for 8 months, and I'm left with over $6,000 in student loan debt with nothing to show for it. And now I'm attending community college just to be able to afford to go to school. What would you say, though, if I told you I could help explain to you how to pay it back faster or stay in a low monthly payment until you eventually hit forgiveness? So, to begin sort of explaining the processes, I want to first go over the standard repayment plans and how those work, and the plans that, for those parents, the Parent Plus loans are eligible for. There are 3 main repayment plans that are standard to all accounts: standard level, graduated, and the extended fixed graduated. So the standard level repayment plan is automatically applied to all accounts when they go into repayment. The graduated repayment plan starts out with a lower monthly payment and gradually increases over 2 years for the span of 10 years. So the standard and the graduated plan have the same time frame of 120 months, but one is a level payment that doesn't change, and the other is a payment that goes up every 2 years. Now, the difference between that would be is that you'd pay more interest on the graduated plan, but if you start out with a lower income in your job, it gives you the opportunity to advance in your career, have your income go up, and then your payments slowly go up with it. And the graduated plan is not the same when it comes to a consolidation loan, at that point in which it can go for over 30 years. So both plans can't be extended any longer than 30 years. And most borrowers who stay on the standard plan, they do get less interest over the life of the loan, but it's not a good option for those looking for forgiveness over their loans, like public service loan forgiveness or teacher loan forgiveness. You may pay more over the life of the loan with that graduated plan, but it also doesn't qualify for a public service loan forgiveness. So there's also the extended, which there are 2 different types of extended: the fixed and the graduated. So in order to qualify for these plans, you have to have in excess of $30,000 of loans, and you'll pay more over the life of the loan in these 2 than you would in the standard or the graduated plans. So the graduated extended plan is the graduated plan, but it goes over a longer length of time, 25 years. The fixed plan is set amount of time that doesn't change, just like that standard level. So it's a fixed, but it's a fixed term over 25 years. Now, the other options that we have are income-based repayment plans. And this works more if you're wanting to look for something where it's more of an affordable monthly payment compared to what you were getting. So there are 4 types of income-driven repayment plans underneath this umbrella: Repay, Payee, IDR, and ICR. If you don't have any income or your payments are just too much, these really are the best choices for you. And if you have 0 income, you have the ability to have a $0 repayment plan. And people always like to say that it doesn't make sense. Yes, you still accrue interest, but you can make payments at any time while you're in this $0 repayment plan. You're just not required to. So it gives you the freedom to pay your loans back the way that you want to. So let's start out with Repay. REPAYE, Revised Pay As You Earn. It's based upon 10% of your discretionary income, The pay or pay as you earn is also based upon 10% of your discretionary income, but it can't be more than the standard level repayment that you would have over that 10-year time span. Both require an application and recertification every 12 months, and that can be done directly through your servicer or on studentaid.gov. Repay has 2 forgiveness terms: 20 years if all of your loans are undergraduate, and 25 years if your loans, any of them, have graduate loans. For the pay, it has a forgiveness of 20 years for all loans. Okay, now we're going to go to the IBR and ICR. The IBR is income-based repayment plan. It's based upon 10% of your discretionary income if your loan originated on or before July 1st of 2014, or 15% of your discretionary income if your loan originated before July 1st of 2014. The payment is never more than this 10-year standard level repayment plan. Also, the ICR, or the income contingent repayment plan, is based upon the lesser of either 20% of your discretionary income or what it would be paid on a repayment plan with a fixed term over a 12-year time frame. So, both of these also require an application and recertification of that application every 12 months. IBR has 2 forgiveness terms: 20 years for loans after July 1st of 2014 and 25 years for loans before July 1st of 2014. The income contingent repayment plan has a forgiveness period of 25 years. Now, we've gone over how you could repay those loans and the different options that you have. But let's just say you have an income, but they're only calculating based upon your adjusted gross income. They don't count in any other debt that you have other than your adjusted gross income, your family size, and your student loan debt. Those are the only things that affect your payment. And if you have car bill, if you have medical bills, if you just live in a place where everything's expensive, there are going to be those times where you just can't make a payment, no matter what it is. So, you have options. One is a forbearance, and one is a deferment. Now, there are many different types of forbearances and deferments that you can have applied onto an account. They are only to be used in extenuating circumstances, because you do accrue interest during them, and interest can capitalize and get added to the principal balance of your loan, meaning that you'll start paying interest on interest. So, with these 2 options, they're both only, like I said, available for a limited amount of time for the life of the loan. So there are many different types. Let's start with forbearances. But they have a maximum time limit on their amount, and it's divided into 2 categories: general and mandatory. These do stop the payment, but they don't stop the interest. Now, some deferments can have interest subsidies with them. Forbearances do not. So a general forbearance request is only granted for no longer than 12 months at a time, and all accounts begin with 1,095 days or 3 years worth of general forbearance time on the account. Now, if you qualify for the required listed items, your loan servicer has to give you a mandatory forbearance. There are 6 mandatory forbearances: AmeriCorps, Department of Defense Student Loan Repayment Program, medical or dental internship or residency, National Guard duty, student loan debt burden forbearance, and teacher loan forgiveness forbearance. They all have their own qualifications and applications that have to be filled out in order to make sure that you truly qualify for that plan. Now, there are 6 types of deferments available to be placed on an account to postpone payment. They are not automatic, and they have to be applied to account for proof of documentation. Most common are the in-school, economic hardship, and the unemployment deferments. They have interest subsidies on them for your subsidized loans. Their other three are allow specialized qualifications like the graduate fellowship, military service, and post-active duty student, and parent plus deferments. The only exception is which one is used a little more often than the others, is the parent plus borrower deferment. The student you took the loan out for is enrolled at least half time at an eligible school. You can also receive a deferment for an additional 6 months after that student comes out of school, just the same way that students get a grace period. So as you can tell, there are so many different options that you have available to you. You just have to be educated on what is there and what you qualify for. And it's never bad to answer the phone call from your student loan servicer. They're there to counsel you. Once you default and once your loan goes off to the collection agencies, then yes, you're being collected. But when you're at a student loan servicer, they're supposed to be there to counsel you, to help you truly understand what you can do and the options that you have to either pay your loan back as fast as possible, or for you to find a place where you're in a comfortable monthly payment that's not breaking your bank. I really hope that learning about student loan repayment today was educational for you. I hope that I've given you the confidence to make the best decision for yourself and for your children's student loans, and have the knowledge that you have options. After everything that you've learned today, I recommend that you call your student loan servicer and choose or qualify for the plan that is right for you, and recommend to read the fine print in all of the processes so you understand what's happening with your money and you can understand where to go for here in the future.